Troy from Ace Appliance in Toledo, Ohio. Welcome back to another in-home diagnostic video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Okay, today what we're looking at is a Frigidaire Gallery Series refrigerator. Customer situation is that stuff is defrosting in the refrigerator section, and she has been able to potentially and kind of maintain it working by adjusting and messing with the temperature setting in the freezer section. With doing that, what that leads me to believe is a problem, which is something you can't necessarily test thoroughly, is the temperature, the thermostat inside the freezer. What it does is there's a bimetal inside that thermostat, and that bimetal, when it gets to a certain temperature that's supposed to, the bimetal expands, tells it to turn off, it turns off power to the compressor, and so it turns off. And when that bimetal then reconstricts back again, it then turns back on. So what we're going to do today is she had told us that if she turns the temperature setting, which is right up in here, she can get it to manipulate and work sometimes. So with that being said, we're going to replace the temperature probe that goes behind here. This is the thermostat of the unit. Replace that, and while I'm in there replacing that, I'm also going to replace the defrost timer on the unit, just to make sure that there's not any situation with the timer as well.
Go ahead, Troy.
Today for the repair, you're going to need either a 1/4 inch nut driver or an adapter for your drill, a tack puller or a flathead screwdriver to be able to help remove wires, and potentially your flashlight, because you will remove the light bulb and disconnect power. First thing we're going to do is unplug the unit, because we do have 120 volts going to both of the components I'm going to change out. So I'm going to unplug the unit and then start to take it apart. Okay, so now with this unit, the temperature, the thermostat is up inside here. So what I'm going to do is first remove the handle. Once the handle's removed, I can then access and actually see where the thermostat's inside. What I'm going to have to do though is, one, I'm going to take the light bulb out so it's out of my way. Once the light bulb is out and out of my way, I can then look up inside and I can see that there are 2 1/4 inch screws on the back side of this panel. I'm going to remove those. Once I have those removed, some of them also have screws on the front side, but this one appears to not. It'll slide down some. Slide down enough to where I can then see what's going on inside. I'll disconnect my ground wire. My ground wire disconnected, I can then see that my thermostat is starting to come loose for me. Once my thermostat has came loose. Okay, so now the thermostatic bulb for this one is a tube that goes out. It's essentially filled with a gas that, when it gets hotter or colder, it expands and contracts, and what that does is it then makes a bimetal inside the unit here move in and out depending on where you have your settings set to. So first thing I'm going to do is, once I've got the unit pulled down, I'm going to go ahead and unplug the wires from the unit. What I would do if you're doing it first time is either A, take a look and write down where the wires go so you have the proper color combination, or take a picture of it. I'm going to hold mine up there, and I can see that the ground wire is moved from the top to the side. I can switch to ground wire, and then on the unit it's actually just got 2 wires, which are going to be just straight 120 power to it, but the orange goes on top and the black goes on the bottom, so I'm going to make sure I put them back in the same spot. Some of the wires don't come off as easily as you want. I use a tack puller. To assist getting them to start and come off. Once I have them removed, there is the thermostatic bulb. It feeds into a cylinder tube that goes back into the freezer. I'm going to pull it back out. I can then see that they are the same. One is an older version, one is a newer version. Now I'm just going to reverse order. I'm going to re-slide the probe back inside the tube, reconnect my wires, and put it back into position. Now something that you're not going to see, because I can't get it positioned right to show you, but inside here there are two U-shaped slots where these prongs slide into. You're going to put it in one side and then push it down on the other so it clicks into place, just so you don't lose your thermostat inside the housing. Once you have the thermostat mounted back in place, make sure that you do reconnect your ground wire to the heat shield for the light. Once your ground wire is reconnected, you can then position your housing back into place where it goes. Once it's back in place where it goes, you can then reposition or reinsert the screws that hold it in place. Thank you for watching another quality video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.